Desk calendars are in for the next year. If you guys want one, just send me a quick email or a text, and I will have a stack that I can bring in, or I'll deliver personally to you guys. Qualia Connect. Anybody in the room have Qualia Connect or using Qualia Connect with an open escrow with Rock at all currently right now? Yes. So okay. Okay. So I kind of hear a little bit, and Deb and Eugenia can kind of talk about this a little bit. So Qualia Connect is the automated system that works with your file opened up with Rock that you are communicating through, uploading docs and so forth. We've had a little feedback. There might be some frustrations, but please make sure you reach out to your escrow officer so that they can streamline that process for you. But we do want your feedback. Don't hold back. If you have something that's not working well for you, or if it's not efficient enough, please let us know. But please make sure you communicate it with your escrow officer. Did you guys want to add anything to that?
I'm just going to add that even though I work with Qualia and some agents do, I still keep it to the old way, sending everything through email as well, just to ensure that nothing gets missed. And then if you don't really like Qualia, I have the option to disconnect the agent from Qualia. So as soon as you get something that you're not comfortable with, just let me know, and I can definitely stop that option so you won't continue to get emails or updates from Qualia.
Perfect.
Trying to make it simple,
okay.
Whatever is best for everybody.
Newsletters, I'm going to tag on to what Tony was talking about. We actually have a newsletter on the Rock University website. Are you guys VIPs? Who's VIP? Awesome. If you click into your VIP account and you scroll down, you'll see that Justin Taylor put in there some templates. One is your monthly newsletter, and it's pretty cool. It's actually, I think I handed them out a few weeks ago. They were the fall, it had the recipe on it, had some market stats for Clark County, a couple of fun things. That is so easily able to be edited and personalized for you guys. If anybody is interested in getting that I can work on it for you, or if you guys know how to do Canva, because it is a Canva template. So let me know, I can help you out with that. What else? Did I miss anything?
Do we want to introduce them?
Oh, I pretty much thought everyone knew them by now, but yes, of course. Deborah Fernandez and Eugenia Schmidt.
Two of the
My team
fabulous
over in the
escrow
Southwest
officers
office.
at the Southwest office.
Yep. Love having them here. It's great to have escrow available. And then I think Deborah's going to be around today because there might be a little something happening at 1 that she's...
Between 2 and 3.
Oh, 2 and 3, okay. Little life of an escrow if you guys wanted to stop in and see what words she had to say about that. Any questions? Anything? Okay. Have a great week, you guys. Or rest of your week, right?
Thank you, Felicia. Let's ask Emily. Where's Emily?
Where is she?
She's late. Emily's not able to make it today. But here's the stats, and they're pretty much not changed much. Oh, here's from 2 weeks ago. There was 10,240, and now this week 10,383. Months of inventory is still hanging right there at the 4.4. You know what? There's still homes that are selling. You know, there's so many people like, oh my God, it's so slow, I can't get any business. There's business to be had. Here's the thing is, when the market changes like this, you just need to double down on your lead generation efforts. Right, Angel?
Yes.
Yeah. So just double down on your lead generation efforts. Get good at what you're doing. Get good at working with for sale by owners. Get good at working with expireds. Get good. Know your scripts. If you need scripts, I can send you a script book. Just reach out to me. So there's still a lot of business to be had. Any questions on the stats? We put these in our social media so that you can share it to your social media or share it with your clients. All right, now this is why you're all here, because you're not here to hear me babble on, are you? So you all know him, or most of all you know him, but Damon is going to talk about farming. So we're all excited to hear what you have to say, Damon.
Woohoo! Mark's just absolutely amazing. I love this guy. I would say one thing I'm going to take away, or I'm going to change one of the words that he uses. I do not like the word good. Right? Good is average. So you guys want to master your skill set, right? You guys want to be great at what you're doing out there to target markets. So can I get everybody to stand up real quick? Stand up. We're going to go a little old school Mike Berry. We're going to say this 3 times. I'm alive, excited, and full of energy. Right on my 3, 2, 1. We're going to say this 3 times. And you guys can sit back down and we'll get started, okay? So 3, 2, 1. I'm alive, excited, and full of energy. I'm alive, excited, and full of energy. I'm alive, excited, and full of energy. Let's give a big shout. Let's rock it. Yeah, that's just to get some energy in the room, right? So get some energy in the room. Okay. So, did everybody get my daily? If you guys didn't get this, is my daily success plan. Right? You guys can hand this out, pass it around. Now, you guys, some of you guys, very few of you guys might use this, but this really is the success plan for real estate, period. Don't care really who you are, what you're doing. This is this. If you followed this, you'd be successful in real estate. The challenge is most agents do not follow it, right? We get caught up in the weeds every day. We get caught up in the weeds every day, and we end up doing a bunch of nonsense in real estate. Right? We end up doing a bunch of nothing, and it results at the end of the day in nothing. And so we want to make sure we change that for you folks, of course. So I'm going to bring up. Now I'm not going to go through this PowerPoint. I do have a PowerPoint, but I'm just going to use it really as for a guideline of key points to cover. Okay. And this is just a PowerPoint that I use on a regular basis for training, but it's going to cover the key points of farming and neighborhood. All right, so with that, we're good. All right. Okay, we'll start right here. Anybody farm? Okay, I love it. If you don't mind sharing, right? Have you had success in farming? I love it, okay? Can you share some of your success? And maybe I'm going to use you as your name. I'm sorry?
Brittany.
Brittany. I'm going to maybe use you as a test dummy, if you will, during this presentation. But so what do you do in farming?
I called my whole farm, introduced myself, door knocked my whole farm, send mailers, get listings, do open houses.
Okay, how long have you been farming?
2 years.
Wonderful. How many listings have you got in farming?
2.
Okay, 2 years, 2 listings, right? Great, congratulations. What other business have you got in front of you?
I've met people at open houses, so I guess like buyers.
Okay, have you closed any of those buyers? Or?
No.
Okay. I love that, and thank you so much for sharing, Brittany. That's so important because there's a few things we're going to cover here of what farming really is about, and I'm going to go back years ago, and the reason why I'm here in front of you today is because I'm hugely passionate about farming, because I had an amazing experience with farming. Now, I had a 1-year experience where my results were actually less than Brittany's, right? I farmed when I first got in real estate for 1 year, and I had I sent out a newsletter, recipe, community events, holidays, and all that good stuff. And I like starting this off with this story because it's still very resonates with me every day. And I had a little old lady call me because she loved the recipes. No joke. Little old lady called me, Rowena, I believe her name, and hi, this is Rowena. I was like, hi, it's Damon Caldwell. She's like, I received your newsletter. And I was like, oh, wonderful. She's like, yeah, and I love the recipes. No joke. I was like, oh, okay, so are you thinking about selling your home? Well, yes, I am. I actually went over, took the listing, sold her home, and she bought a home in a neighboring new home community called Highland Hills up in North Las Vegas area. And so that was after a year of farming. Okay, this might resonate a little bit with Brittany, right? A year of farming. Is that a good ROI? Don't yawn in my class, man. That's not cool, dude. We don't allow that. Yeah, we usually kick people out if I'm teaching. They do that. They have to leave the classroom. But, anyways, so is that good ROI? No. You can't do anything for a year and get one result. Right? For the most part, you would hope not. You would hope not, unless it's a big result. Okay. So what I realized is I had to go back to the drawing board. This was as a brand new agent, 1 year in, right? I had to go back to the drawing board. I remember being in the office talking to Scott Whitmar. We had the same mentor, Mark Stark, and I remember him telling me, he said, you have to, and I shared this last week when we were doing the team leader thing. You have to think like the consumer. Think like the client. Okay? Don't think like, and most of us, all the templates we have, everything that we have at our fingertips is all pretty much static, right? Which is realtor information. You have to ask your question, is this touching somebody? Is this answering a question for somebody? Is this solving a problem for somebody? Or is it creating a solution for somebody? And if you have that mindset, your marketing changes, right? Your marketing changes. And that's what happened to me. After a year of doing it wrong, I changed my marketing strategy. I started focusing on what was important to the consumer. Now, folks, this is not new. Mark, your leadership team, they talk about, having solutions, coming up with market of the moment information, right, to share. So this is not new. It's just it's a focus, right? It's an awareness. Love that word. It's an awareness. When you're sending something out, is it going to move the needle for somebody? Okay, because that ultimately is what's going to get the phone to ring. That's what's going to get somebody to reach out to you because you are now a solution for them and they need your help. I call it the how and why. We'll talk a little bit more about that, right? The how and why. So anyway, so after that, I went back to the drawing board, started farming, got a listing in a 200-home neighborhood. Now, this is my story, and we'll get into the meat of it. 200-home neighborhood. Now, I'm good, but I'm not, well, I'm great, right? Don't like the word good. I'm great, but I'm not that great. There's a lot of factors to farming. Marketing, right? The market of the moment, right? Depends on where the market's at. I'm going to talk to you guys about that right before I end today, as far as what to look for in your farm, because there are some things you need to know. There's data that you need to pull to identify whether or not you're in the right place, in the right neighborhood, or with the right group of people. That's very important in farming. So I went out to a 200-home neighborhood, move-up neighborhood, back in 2002, 2003-ish, and equity is growing at about 5%, about our average. And I started farming, but I really changed all my messaging to be focused on the consumer, the seller, right? What I can do, the how and why. How I can help you, why you need this help, right? To get your home sold for the highest dollar amount, right? And in a time that's convenient for you. Went out, door knocked. Within 2 months, I had 2 more listings. Within a year and a half, I sold 20 homes in that farm, 200-home neighborhood. I have never seen that repeated from any agent. In a year and a half to 2 years, I sold 20 homes in a 200-home neighborhood. What percentage of sales do you think I had in that community of the homes that sold? Keep going.
Oh, towards the end?
No, keep going.
Oh.
75% of the homes that sold in that community had Damon's yard sign in them. That's unheard of, okay? But it's because of what I did once I launched my farm, which I'll share with you guys. All right? So let me first, though, go back a little bit and say, do we want listings right now? Who wants listings right now? The market is shifting. I love that because some people have, I don't want any listings now. Right? I wanted them 6 months ago. I don't want them today. They're a pain in the butt. I got to deal with the seller. I got to try to beat up on the price or whatever else. What do listings bring? So big picture, what do listings bring to the table?
Lead.
Who said leads?
Me.
Thank you. What are buyers looking for on the internet? What are buyers looking at? Houses, right? Whoever controls the inventory, now there's people like myself and other teams that buy leads, right? They're buying inventory, right? They're buying leads online because we know buyers are looking online for properties and we're paying for those buyers. Whoever controls the inventory has leads. Whoever controls inventory has leads. So listings are never, ever going to be a bad thing to have, right? If you have listings, you are always going to be in business. Folks, what do we sell? Houses. That's the inventory, right? We sell homes. We sell ourselves, but we sell homes. That's the product. It's never a bad idea to have a nice, whether 10, 15, inventory of listings, right? It's always going to be a great idea. So let's talk about how to get started in a farm, and I'm going to go through some basics. Many of you won't farm. In fact, I know that to be true because if you guys go into the MLS right now and looked, and I can show you how to see if anybody's dominating a community, it's rare that an agent's dominating a community. It's rare. And a lot of that has to do with consistency, being consistent in a community. But let me ask you, who's doing open houses? Oh, come on, please. That's it? 5 people? Open houses, okay. Who's doing video? Okay. All right, so this side of the room, what are you guys doing? I need to know. I need to know what you guys are doing because I'm not checking the boxes here. Okay, I'm joking. All right, when you do an open house, you do it in a certain location.
Yes, Southwest.
Okay, I love it. When you do video, do you do it in a certain location?
In front of the house.
No, in Southwest and
Southwest.
all around
Plains.
east side Las Vegas. Okay. So what you find is in most cases, agents, you guys are already farming. You're just not doing a great job at it. You're just not doing a great job at it. You're already farming. You're already attached to a community in most cases, right? You're already, hey, I'm a Summerlin, I want to be a Summerlin specialist, or I love the Southwest, Northwest, or whatever community it is. You're already doing some of the things to farm. You just need to step it up if you really want to get that ROI up, right? You want to start getting that return on investment and become the mayor of that community, right? Become the hyper-local expert of that community. So let's talk a little bit about farming. Now, I'm not going to get caught up in the weeds on this PowerPoint. I'm going to stay focused on the key points, but we know what farming is. I don't need to educate you guys for the most part. Farming is planting the seeds in a community, or it doesn't have to be a community. It could be a demographic. It could be a buyer type or a client type that you're farming. It could also be psychographic. Who has went on to Facebook or social media, it doesn't have to be Facebook, and joined groups that they're passionate about? Okay, a couple of people. How many people have you brought over to your personal Facebook page by joining those groups to have a friend requested?
Like 4 or 5.
4 or 5 people. Okay, and how long?
Probably a few months.
Okay. Who can build their sphere of influence following to hundreds of people within a month by joining groups that you're passionate about, commenting, liking, posting, and then friend requesting those people to your Facebook page, to your Instagram, wherever it is, getting those people onto your platform where now you are posting what? Real estate. Every 3 to 4, 5 posts, you're posting real estate information, right? If you guys want to build your following, that's called psychographic farming. It's identifying the people that have the same passions, the same connections as you, whether that's biking, hiking, cooking, you're a mother, doesn't matter, okay? That's what you should be doing. So real estate farming is basically, cultivating these different groups, right, to start building your listings. However, building listings, and I want to stay focused on this, listings bring buyers, right? They're just, you don't have to pay for them. You get a listing, you get the goal is that you get 2 buyers from every listing. That's the goal, right? When I was farming, I always wanted to keep 15 listings in inventory. That was my goal. That was my number one goal, was to always keep 15 listings in inventory when I was listing properties. I didn't know, sometimes it was 10, that's because they'd sell, but you have to replenish them, right? So those bring buyers up. So my goal was 2 buyers for every listing and an additional listing for every listing, right? Via marketing around the neighborhood and stuff. So consider gardening. So this is a little bit of, don't overwhelm yourself. If you guys are going to start farming a community, be careful to bite off too much, right? There does come some dollars with this now. Mailing is a part of farming. It is not everything in farming. It'll be an addition to, right? But gardening, you can start off, and I recommend about 300 to 500 homes, right? So 300 to 500 homes to start in your farm. But the key to farming is this, and this is where most agents fail: consistency. You have to be consistent in your farming, right? Frequency, you have to be frequent. Now, when I was at the height of my farm, a couple of things happened. I was in my farm about 5 times a month. How often are you in your farm? And I told you I would pick on you a little bit, but not too much.
Once every 2 months.
Yes, that's no good.
Not good enough.
Okay, now I don't
Day
need
was
to.
just not great.
Well, no, yeah, what are you? Yeah, 1 every 2 months. Now, is that because financial, or is that just because?
I'm not consistent.
I love it, and thank you for being honest, okay? That's the key right there, okay? I was in my farm 5 times, 3 to 5 times a month, no less than 3, usually about 5 times between door dropping, door knocking, and mailing. Door dropping, door knocking, and mailing, and sometimes calling, okay? That was my biggest focus. I love being out in the community, I love talking to people, being face to face with people, and built that relationship. A couple of things happened when I was at the height of my farm. I had a Century 21 agent call me to list their home in my farm. No joke. Had a Century 21 agent called me and said, hey, you are the man in the neighborhood. Don't laugh. I need to get my home sold. We were going into short sales, okay, and I need you to sell my home. He was going through, I think, a divorce situation. Also, when I'd go door knocking, people would see me and they'd say, oh, I know who you are. I get you. Yeah, hey man, if we're selling, we're calling you, right? That would happen. That would happen. Okay, that's real. That's as true as I can be. So, quality of marketing material and content. The content, which I want to talk to you, really focus more on today than anything, given the time, right? The content is the important thing, and that's where I talked about the how and why, right? Because it can't just be when you go to sell your home, Brittany. Is a recipe going to answer your questions? No, right? What's going to answer your questions? In other words, what are the seller's questions?
How much can I get my house?
How much can I get, right? How much can I sell my home
How
for?
fast can I sell?
And how fast, right? What's the time frame? Those are the two seller questions that are the two questions that the seller controls, right? Seller controls those. They price the home based on their time frame and everything else. What do we control? What do we control? What's the third one that we control?
Marketing.
What we can do to help them, right? What we can do to market their home, right? To negotiate the best possible position, right? So what can we do? The how and why. How can I help you bring more buyers to the table? How can I help you avoid paying buyers' closing costs? How can I help you from falling into the trap of a discount listing brokerage, right? Those are all great questions, and you're the answer for them, right? That's the how and why. How I can help you, why you need this help to get your home sold. Very important. If you guys just remember the how and why, that's what you're going to answer the seller's questions. So here's some myths. Let's talk about some myths. Brittany shared, and that's what you normally will hear. I don't believe that in farming. I was told this at the beginning when I first started, it's going to take you a year to get your farm up and running. Did that for a year, and then I shifted gears and I lit the world on fire. So I no longer believe that it takes a year to get a farm up and running. The reason why is this. If you put yourself in front of a seller today, you just made that a false statement, right? If you went out on your farm today and you put yourself in front of a seller and you were able to get a listing appointment and get a contract signed, this no longer is true, correct? That it's going to take you a year. The problem is this. Once every 2 months, thank you again for sharing, Brittany. Once every 2 months, mostly mail, right? And we're going to sit back and we're going to wait for the phone to ring, and it's going to take us a year to get return on investment. You guys can't do that if you're going to farm, okay? That's where if you guys decide to farm, you're going to have to own it. But if you do it that way, yes, it's going to take a year, okay? Because I get all kinds of junk in the mail, right? What separates you from the pack? Now you can do a little bit of that with the how and why, right? The message, right? The bottom line is, in farming, we learned this many, many years ago, and this has helped me as well put my strategies together. 94% of U.S. citizens do their mail like this. They go to their mailbox, they get their mail. They bring it back. They are in sort mode.
Yeah.
You guys all know? You guys all know? You're in sort mode. You got it. Home trash. Oh, HOA bill, Visa bill. Right? Oh, hey, Macy's is having a sale, or we're thinking about putting a pool in. There's a discount on a pool. That postcard may make it to a different pile for a brief period of time, then back to sort mode. So you guys have to understand this, so you can just come up with better strategies, right? Now I'm not going to say you're not going to mail postcards. The reality of it is, time and time again, being in front of somebody, over time starts building that name recognition. But you want to try to be a little different, right? You also want to add in there personal handwritten envelopes, right? Now, a lot of stuff I did was in a double-windowed envelope, and it looked like a bill. Okay, honestly, it looked like a bill, and it went to the bill pile. And now it still made it to the trash. But what did I get to? I got in front of that seller, potential seller, in a time that they were no longer in sort mode. They were now in let me review mode. Open it up. Oh, there's the solds in the neighborhood. There's this in the neighborhood. And that helped me a ton. I'll share a couple of strategies I use that actually brought me a lot of listings, okay? And I used to list about 2 to 3 listings a month in my farm, Okay, so that's about static. Yeah, it was good. Sometimes it was 1, about 2 to 3, right? So come listen to me calls, and that's the goal here today is to help you guys probably try to achieve that. Okay, so farming can become a core business over time. You'll miss someone else already dominates. That's rare, right? So usually not. But you guys, we can do the research. Title can do the research for you. I can show you on the MLS within 5 minutes how to really tear a community apart and know in and out whether or not it's an upcoming community or it's a declining community. Which means if the properties are going into a sell mode, right? The homeowners are going into sell mode, or it's already went through the cycle, and you might want to stay away from that community and move on to something else. I can show you all that within 5 minutes on the MLS. I love being in control of my data, right? So you can stop and install your farm FNs as needed. No, you can't, right? You have to be consistent. Whoop. Here we go. All right, so let's talk about selecting your farm, right? You guys want to find out first and foremost what your goals are, right? What are the goals of your farm? That's important. You know, farming, I don't want to get caught up in a PowerPoint here. This is for you guys really to sit down and take ownership of a community, right? Get involved in your community. That's really what it is. At the end of the day, it's about becoming involved in your community, and this is what I know. I'm going to use an expired as an example. Now, some of you folks might call them expired listings. Who calls expireds? Okay. Are you calling all around Las Vegas?
Yes.
All right, what's your
call
script?
them that's anything that's over 700.
What's your script?
You know,
If you don't mind me asking, you don't have to share if you don't.
I'll just give you like a brief summary. I just ask them like why it hasn't sold and what the agent did that they're not happy about.
Okay, love it. That's Mike Ferry kind of in its purest, right? Is ring, hi, Damon calling, notice your home came off the market. I'm just curious, are you still thinking about selling, or when you plan on interviewing agents, right? Let me ask you a few questions. Why do you feel your home hasn't sold? What did the agent do that you loved? What did they do that you didn't love? If there's one thing you would want done to market your home, what would it be? That's all I did. So my second form of listings, my first way of getting listings was expired listings. Farming was my second way. So I did a lot of expireds. This is the difference with farming. If you're farming a community, this is the difference of a script. Okay, if you're doing open houses in your community, you're reaching out to the homeowner. You know, you guys can call expireds and gunshot it, right, or shotgun it, excuse me. Or you can do it a little bit more hyper-local, and it's a door knock or a call and says, hi, this is Damon Caldwell, Realty One Group. I'm actually, the reason I'm calling is I'm doing an open house in the community this weekend, and I noticed that your home came off the market, and I was interested to know if you're still thinking about selling. I would love to market that at my open house. Right? Are you still thinking about selling? And you're going to find out right now if they say yes or no. Yes, I am still thinking about selling. Would you mind if I shared the information at my open house? Right? So there's different ways in farming that you can touch people. Much more personal instead of just cold. Right? So much more personal, much more warm, and you're offering something. You're supporting them instead of asking of them. Now, I'm not telling you to stop calling expireds. Right? I had a couple of different expired programs. I used to mail about 1,500 to 2,000 mailers a month with expires. But anyways, getting back to farming your budget. Budget is very important. This is what will keep you from farming, right, is your budget. Make sure I'm respectful of time here. This is where you go to mail, right? You choose your farm, and then you go to mail, and you realize that you had to pull your wallet out, right, or your purse or whatever, and cha-ching, there goes $300, $350, $400, and you're like, oh my goodness, I can't farm. You can farm. It doesn't have to be that costly. Okay, you have to do other things around your farm that will help bridge that gap. Now, I do believe in a monthly mailer, a monthly market update. That's very important to keep in front of the community, the homeowners there, as far as what's going on in the community. So I do believe in a monthly, and I had a monthly mailer, right? 300 to 500 homes, location of your farm is very important. You guys need to go out and research, right, within 5 miles of where you live, a farm that has a good turnover. This is number one on this list. It should actually be at the very top, but the turnover ratio is very important. What's the turnover ratio in your farm?
I think it's like 10%,
Yeah.
11.
And that's good. 10%, no less than 7. Right? No less than 7% really is the number. If you can find one that's 10, 12, 13, 14, 15%, you're in good shape. That means 10% of the homes in a year period of time, 10% of the homes in that community have sold. Right? Now you can go back in time. I don't know if you've done this, Brittany. You can go back in time. What I usually do is I'll go back 3 and 5 years to see how many homes have sold in that community. So if I have a 300 home community and 150 have sold in the last 5 years, what is my true target market? What's the number of my true target market? 300 homes, 150 have sold within the last 5 years, which means title has changed hands. What's the number that I actually have a better chance of listing their home? 150. Okay, people don't, within 3 years, if you sold your home within 3 years, percentages are much less that you're going to do it again. Okay, especially with interest rates, right? If you got a 2.25 or 2.5% interest rate right now in our market, you're probably not going to sell. What that does, it creates an awareness for you of the 150 people you know have not sold their home, which means those are your hot leads. Those are your hot leads. Those are the people that you can now, the messaging, right? Talk about equity, all of those things now you can bring to the table to them, possibly reduce your mailing output. You don't need to mail the whole community. Mail the people that matter, touch everybody else, be it door dropping, door knocking, open houses, but mail the people that matter the most, which are the people that have not transferred title within the last 5 years. Now you can go as low as 3. The reason I would do that is because it gives you the opportunity in 3 years, or if go back, they changed titles 3 years ago, and so for 2 years you're going to build a relationship with those people. Some of them might sell, but for 2 years or beyond you're going to build a relationship by mailing the people that transferred title in 3 years ago, and then when they're ready to sell, you've now built up a 2-year relationship with them, okay? And in between, you might capture a couple here and there. Or you just start at about 5 years. On average in Las Vegas, we're about, 5 to 7 years. That may change a little bit given the dynamics of interest rates, what people have for their interest rate right now. All right, competition and what fits you is very important. All right, so the first thing is, and don't be afraid to leverage the different levels of farming. Right, now you're only doing 700, so how many homes sell a year in that price range?
No, my farm is actually like 500.
No, but you said price point wise, you said above, or no, expired you said 700. How about your farm? What's your price point in your farm?
500.
Okay, good. So a pretty good turnover. Don't be afraid. Okay, we know volume is based on price point, right? What's the number one community that sold more homes than any other community? What city has sold more homes than any other city in Las Vegas? North Las Vegas. It's been static for many, many years. Units closed. North Las Vegas is always superior. Why? Price points. Price points. More people can afford it. All right. It's not hard to figure out. So don't be afraid to have a low mid-height. Have a move-up neighborhood. Have a neighborhood that people are going to sell and move up. Right. There's a lot of people that bought that were in a rush. Right, the last couple of years, they had to buy a home because they couldn't get that dream home. There was no inventory, right? They couldn't find that dream home, so they bought what they could. They got in where they could, and now, given interest rate is going to be the one thing you have to overcome, right? That hey, I'm giving up, but bottom line is that's going to be their choice, right? It's going to be quality of life. We have a bigger family. We need to get into that bigger home now. Now there's more inventory for us to choose from. We have negotiation strength now, possibly get the seller to buy down the rates, so we're not so off the beaten path of our current rate. Those are all factors in this. And if you're farming right, going back to the how and why, that's your message, right? That is your messaging to them. How can you help them get their home sold here without taking a big hit on their rates for buying this home over here, right? That's huge right now. Right? You got your lenders. Epic, everybody's talking about how you can get somebody into a home with a lower rate right now, and that's that buy down, okay? So in the MLS, I'm not going to have time to do this, but you can actually go in the MLS and go and find the subdivisions that you want to farm, right, really easily. I usually just go to solds, right? So go check solds in the MLS, right? Hit sold, put the zip code in that you want to farm or area, map it out. Solds for the last year, and it's going to show you all the sold records, right? You put them in order of community, subdivision. Identify the subdivision that has multiple cells, 10 to 15 minimum. Right? I always try to say about 15 because on average our communities have about 200 to 300 homes. 10% of 200 is how many cells? 20. Right, so I always start about 15. 15 solds in the same subdivision. That's a good, you check that one and you go research that one in tax. Now what you do is you go to tax, put that subdivision in, and you go back, and when you put that subdivision in tax, it's gonna tell you how many homes are in that community in the tax. It's all done within minutes on the MLS,
Can I
right?
take a picture of this real quick?
Yeah,
Thanks.
you go into tax, and you didn't want me in it, I guess. Is that what you're saying?
Still too close.
Can you please leave the room while I take this photo? Anyways, go to tax, find out how many homes are in that community. I used to love to do this because I would go into my community. Now this is stepping off the path here for a second. You guys, we farm communities, right? But there's neighborhoods within communities that have a better turnover ratio. You can farm the community, Southern Highlands, Centennial. You'll find that community because you're going to be out doing open houses in the community. It doesn't have to be static in this neighborhood. You just put more energy, time, and effort and money into this neighborhood that has the turnover, or neighborhoods. I got up to 5 neighborhoods, about 2,000 homes that I farmed. I take my boys at that time. Youngest is 28 now. Back then, he was like 10 years old. They would door drop with me. I'd take them out on a weekend, we'd hit 2,000 homes. Boom, 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 boom. I'd pay them 10 cents a door, right, to door drop. When I went out and door knocked, I went by myself, right? 50, I used to do 200 a day, then I dumped it down to 50 a day, Monday through Thursday, about 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. I'd go out and door knock to get in front of people, to talk to them and start building those relationships.
What's your spiel on the door?
Oh, it was real. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I'm not gonna open the front gate.
yeah, it's okay. No, believe me, I've seen it all. So you're not gonna fool me. Okay, go ahead.
Can I help you?
If you guys are okay with this.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, can I help you?
Hi, ma'am. So sorry to interrupt you today. Am I catching you at a good time?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Damon Caldwell. I introduced myself first. Damon Caldwell with Realty One Group. Am I catching you at a good time? I put that in my script. Most people tell you don't put that in your script. I put that in my script. The reason why is I've learned over the years that if you just go right into blah, 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 it's no thank you, and they shut the door, they want to close the door.
I was like, can she say that? Like, no, I'm busy right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so please. So say, no, I'm busy right now.
I'm getting ready to go to work.
Yeah, do you have 30 seconds?
You're timed.
But guys, this is the thing with objections, and Mark probably will confirm this. If you get past the first objection, because we are all geared to say no. We are all, it's embedded in us to say no right out of the gate. And if the person doesn't come back with an objection, then they're walking away and you're saying, thank God, right? I got them to go away. If I say, do you have 30 seconds? Yeah, you're timed. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Hey, we just listed the Johnson's home. Make it personal. We just listed the Johnson's home just right across the street here, and we're really committed to helping them get relocated. One of my commitments is to come out to the community to ask the homeowners, the residents, if they might know of somebody buying a home. Can you think of anybody right now thinking about buying a home? Be a perfect opportunity for you
Nope,
to
just
choose.
moved here from California.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. No, I love it. That's fantastic. Anybody, any friends, family member, coworkers at all come to mind?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, get them to think, right? So I appreciate that. Let me ask, have you folks thought about making a move in, say, the next year or so? Now, that's if she didn't say they just came from California, but right? Have you folks thought about making a move in, say, the next year or so?
No, I just moved here, so I plan on staying for a bit.
Oh, wonderful. That's so wonderful. So where'd you move from?
San Diego.
San Diego. I love San Diego. It's beautiful out there. So why'd you move to Las Vegas?
Costs a lot of money, don't like the governor.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate it. So how'd you happen to choose this area?
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
So I really liked it.
it's lovely. Yeah, it's amazing. Summerlin's a beautiful community. So let me ask you, if you were to move, where would you go next? Okay.
I haven't thought about that yet.
Okay, wonderful. So do you have anybody keeping you up to date on the value of your home? We have a changing market. We're in a changing market right now. Do you have anybody that's keeping you up to date on the value of your home and the market, the community?
Local news, I guess. I can look
Okay,
at.
well, hey, I provide this wonderful market update to several of the homeowners in the community, and I'd love to just keep you up to date. I'd love to be a resource for you, just let you know what's going on in the community and what's happening with property values. Would that be okay?
Sure.
Let me, if it's okay, I'd love to email it to you. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand. Believe me, the last thing I want to do is spam the community. I offer this to a select few that want it. I really think it's going to be a value to you. Let's do this. If I can email it to you one time, if you don't want it, if you don't like it, just unsubscribe and you'll never get it again.
How about
Is
I
that
just
fair?
take your business card and we'll talk?
That's okay, if that's, that's fine. So if that, and that's, sometimes you have to leave it like that. My numbers were, out of about 15 people, I'd get about 10 people to give me their email address, in reality, okay? So if I door knocked 50 doors, I'd talk to 15 people, and I'd get about 8 to 10 people's email addresses to add to my database. Those were my actual numbers, okay? So, with that, that's the script. You guys can, take that script, but you have to make it personal, make it about helping somebody else. I learned that a long time ago. Make it about helping somebody else, and people will typically open up to you. If it's about selling them, they want to get you off the phone or get you out in front of the door as
We're not
fast
all
as
as
possible.
charismatic as you though, Damon. I thought that was pretty good. I find that hard to say no, and I normally say no to everybody.
Yeah, I will tell you, one of my strengths, I don't know if this is just over time or not or whatever, but I'm just a very sincere, you have to be sincere, right? And you have to believe, you have to have confidence, you have to believe in what you're offering, you have to be sincere, otherwise you're going to falter. And practice, believe me, it didn't start that way. All right, I used to kick myself in the ass, excuse my language, all the time because I didn't finish my script. My goal was to get to that last part. That was always my goal, was to get to that last part. Do you have an agent keeping up to date in the market? The testimonial if you guys didn't hear me, there's reasons for everything I just said. I provide this to several of the homeowners in the community. Nobody wants to be first in receiving me, okay? That's a testimonial. Now, if you have it going to one person, you can say it. If you don't have it going to one person, you might be fibbing a little bit until you get it to one person, okay? That was the reality, okay? So, determine the turnover ratio is very important, okay? And leverage partner support, of course. Title can actually give you the turnover ratio. I just loved having the ability to go in and research my farm, getting the data. It starts becoming painful when you want so much information or too detailed information, like going back, how many homes have sold in 2 years in this community, 3 years, what are my numbers looking like? All right, that's important. There's other programs. KV Core is one of the things that we use, but there's other systems out there. You guys have it, I think, the MLS provides the, what is it, the
Passport?
what's the one on the market? The Prospects Plus, or no, what's the one with the seller update?
Sales track?
No, the MLS provides it for you guys. Check it.
The CRM.
No, not the CRM.
The CRM.
It's the seller market update that they offer. It's pretty cool.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's in the library.
I don't know about
I can't remember. Anyways, get a seller market update going out. Okay, get a seller market update going out to those that you got email addresses from, right? And if you're not getting email addresses, that's okay. That was my thing. All right, as I beat myself up that if I was out doing something, this is the thing I always ask myself, right? And let me make sure we're right at the top of the hour here, Mark. So, or bottom of the hour. I always ask myself every day getting up, right? And I wasn't successful in real estate. Wasn't the most successful person in real estate, but there's 2 questions I always ask myself when I get out of bed in the morning. What am I doing today to find a buyer and seller? Real simple. What am I doing today? And that's where that was created. That form that you have in front of you right there. If you guys use this every day, if you guys use this form every day, you're going to be successful in real estate, period. You can add whatever areas, target markets you want. The problem is nobody uses this. Agents, or most agents, don't use this. Top producers use it. They know every day what they have to do to generate business, okay? They know who they have to contact, what they have to say, the strategies that they're using to contact them. But I had asked myself that question. At the end of the day, I'd ask myself, did you set an appointment today? Did you set an appointment today? My number one goal every day was to set an appointment. And if I didn't set it, I had to double up the next day. Okay, and I didn't always, I failed more than I succeeded a lot of times, but those are the 2 questions because this is appointment-based business, right? Bottom line.
Did you categorize your level, the quality of the actual lead? Do you like?
Not initially. The goal was to learn, grow, right? As a new agent, was to get out there and do presentations. But yes, once I started getting busy, yes, you qualified, unqualified people, and you'd spend your time where it was most important for sure. Okay. Because if it was just a lead or an appointment that wasn't going to go anywhere, right, then it doesn't count as much. However, getting in front of anybody, you never know what can come of it, right? That appointment night might not work out, but they might have a referral from you. So it's always good to get out there and get in front of people no matter what, right, at some level. So gather your farming information. This is where you get into the weeds of farming, right? You have to, and this is the importance of really internalizing and being passionate about your community. And that's what I love about farming, is that it brings you into a place where everything you're doing now is a little bit, or a lot more from the heart, right? You care. You're there. It's not so cold. It's not about sales so much as it is about, let me get out in my community. I want to support the garage sale. I want to build relationships. I want to go help the businesses that are there. Let me see if they have a certificate I can send out with my marketing piece, a discount, right? The new taco shop. Again, you're the mayor of your community. You're starting to do all these things, and daily, now you can track FSBOs expires. I picked up a lot of these when I was farming. I picked up people that they hated realtors. They were FSBOs. Ultimately, who do you think they ended up listing? I sold them 2 homes, and they absolutely hated realtors. They were FSBOs. The guy's name was Gary. Still remember it this day. It beat the heck out of me a little bit, but sold 2 homes for him, right? And he started off as a FSBO. Never going to use a realtor, this and that. Farming, they see you day in, day out, doing open houses, marketing, just listed, just sold. I had people, and I didn't prompt this, I had signs in the yard, or there was a home, door knocking one time about 4 o'clock, I think. Lady drives their driveway. That was the reason I did it later on. And there's a sign in her yard, right? Listed with somebody else, and I was just handing out my flyer, door dropping my flyer, and she pulls in. I was like, "Hi, ma'am. Hey, Damon Caldwell, just promoting my new listing, down the street, trying to, looking for a buyer for it, and how's everything going with selling your home?" And yeah, we're a little, not getting a whole lot of action or whatever. We're not sure we have the right agent. I was like, you know what? The market's a little different right now. I'm sure you're gonna be fine. Did not down talk the agent. Did not beat up on the agent. Just, hey, market's a little change. 30 days later, she called me and said, "We withdrew our listing. We want you to list it. We want somebody that's gonna door knock, right? That's gonna do the things you're doing, right? We want somebody that's aggressive, that's gonna sell our home, okay? But you always, never talk bad about another agent." So, school, absentee owners, sleeper. You're hitting absentee owners, right? For sure. That's a big market for us in Las Vegas. So you have to be marketing to them as well. The absentee owners are very important. So have a separate program for them, because you really can only mail, right, to absentee owners in most cases. You can try to find phone numbers for them, right? But the key, this is where another place where agents will fail, is what do I market? What do I send out? And you have to remember the how and why. How and why for market of the moment. So right now, think of the market we're in. How can you help a seller, homeowner, right, in the market that we're in right now? And then get your 8 and 8s going. This is the best way to launch your farm right now. If you guys have a neighborhood, 300 to 500 homes that you want to start diving into, get an 8 and 8 connection, program together right now. It could be a market, it could be an introduction letter, video, right? Or you can go door knock, right? An introduction. Get a neighborhood market update going, right? Something that looks like this. Right? Market update. Properties for sale, available, under contract, market update. On the back, this is where I would always double up. I wouldn't just send out a market update, I would put the message on the back, right? How I can help you, why you need me, what I'm doing to help my homeowners, right, get their homes sold right now in this market, right? Addressing the main issues for them. Marketing flyer, coupon, local business, just listed, under contract, just sold flyer can go out. You guys know that you guys get the leverage for the most part. Our listings, reach out to an agent, say, is it okay if I post a just sold, just listed or something like that on their listing? Just list is the main one. But if you go out and door drop a flyer, just under contract, just listed or just sold, that's the way I launched my farm. Doing that right there, and I got more listings from it. Open house invitation, personalized marketing materials, right? Maybe secondary, but it starts getting you, keeps you in front of them. Personal brochure. So door dropping at least twice a month in the 8 and 8 program. I recommend getting out and door dropping at least twice a month. Now, when I would mail a just listed or just sold, I would also door knock it or door drop it. The only difference between door dropping and door knocking is if I door knocked too soon, like 2 weeks before, I wouldn't go door knock again and be a pest. I would just go door drop. Then a month later, just listed, just sold, whatever, I'd go door knock. Okay, again, open house, invitation, I'd go door knock. All right, market update, videos right now. If you guys are doing videos, bottom line is you need to get out and start doing videos around the community, start sharing that. Join their Facebook groups, there's so much you can do. Leverage the Realty One Group tools. You guys now have that one design. Mark showed you the market stats. Canva, title companies, Express Docs is online as well in the one login for ease of getting your postcards out. Don't make it difficult, right? Don't make it difficult. holiday postcards, right? Home maintenance tips. This is in addition to.
I don't want to say
This is in addition to the how and why. Don't get it confused. We do not. This is not our priority. Our priority is to answer the concerns of the seller, the homeowner, right? If they're thinking about selling, they put a different cap on. Okay. This is to build relationships. The how and why, is to answer the concerns, questions of a homeowner or somebody that's thinking about selling. When a homeowner decides to sell, they put a different cap on, right? They put their cap on now as Brittany, the agent that is going to give me top dollar for my home and get it sold in time. They don't care about this, all right? All right, almost there. We'll let you guys get going, but coming soon flyer, just listed postcard, call neighbors. It's on the market. Who do you know? Open house invitation. Effective open houses, right? Double up on your open houses. Mark said you need to double up on your business. I was just watching Gary Keller at Inman News. He said you need to triple up on your business right now. Right? You guys all know Gary Keller, right? Inman, he was on the Inman conference. He said you need to triple up on your business right now, right? Pending in escrow postcard, just sold postcard, follow-up call regarding buyer interest activity or letters, right? Buyer interest activity. Yard signs, personalized stuff there as well. And then leverage your CRM, right? Whatever it is, join the Facebook groups, create a URL, leverage the MLS tools as well for that. What's your home worth? Market snapshot. Okay, that's important as well. Community schools reports. Sponsor garage yard sales, neighborhood watch, seasonal holiday activities, host a block party, food drives, welcome to the neighborhood party. So you guys can get creative with some of this stuff. As far as your postcards and things that you're doing out there as well. And then, of course, advertising the page on all flyers. So you guys can go grab the actual community page or the Facebook page and start marketing everything on there as well. Post things of value on the page, like CMAs, just listed, just sold. Just of course, follow the rules of that HOA, right, as far as what you can and can't do on their page. You can even go create your own page if you wanted to, Facebook, social media. You should be doing all this, whether TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, to where you're now a voice in that community, right? You're a voice in that community, and you're sharing helpful, resourceful information in that community, okay? Create a neighborhood website, right? You can create a website or create a page on your website that has a link for all the properties available in that neighborhood. Could have updates on that neighborhood. Could be events in that neighborhood. You name. There's a lot to do, right? The basic, the beginning stages is choosing that community and doing it. So that's pretty much in a short breath. Trying to rush at the end there. Any questions? You guys are like, God, I can't believe I had to sit through this.
This was absolutely amazing. So, I'm going to ask a couple of questions, though, not a few. So, some of the takeaways. Give me 2 or 3 of you, give me something that you really learned. Hopefully someone's going to answer you.
Consistency.
That's all good if they don't. Yeah,
Come on, takeaways. And I'll give you one of mine. Consistency. That's a good one. Get consistent in your marketing to your farm. What else?
Think like a buyer.
What's that?
Think like a client.
Think like the
Love that.
clients.
Thank you very much for that.
Start out gardening if you can't start farming.
Yeah.
Start off gardening if you can't do farming. I love that. I love that. I'll tell you what my main takeaway was when he was door knocking and it was a script. I had so many agents tell me, I don't want to do scripts. I don't want to sound canned, right?
Oh yeah.
Did that sound canned? No, because here's the thing, is he's been doing it a long time and he said that script probably hundreds if not thousands of times.
Absolutely.
He had memorized the script and then internalized the script and then personalized that script. So that's a script, I've heard that script hundreds of times. I mean, that's a classic, Mike Ferry script, but it didn't sound scripted, it did not sound canned. So if you guys, just learn your scripts and become good at them.
But I think when I asked, how are you so charismatic, because that's my thing, I'm always feeling like I
Because he knows the
sound
scripts.
stupid.
Yeah.
but the fact that you said you did sound stupid in the beginning, you just had to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, and then it became natural.
The very
You
first
guys-
door I ever knocked on,
Don't be
very
afraid,
first
don't
door,
be-
27 years ago, I knocked on the door and I'm like, oh, I hope he doesn't answer. But he answered, and I was so tongue-tied,
Yeah.
I said, do you want to buy or sell the home?
Right now.
But it didn't stop me from going to the next one, to the next one, the next one, and it became pretty good.
I think you gotta get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, you know, and it's so relatable to everything you folks do. Open houses, somebody walking into an open house. Don't think of this as just a farming thing. I mean, the script, the sincerity comes with everything, right? Whenever you're meeting somebody, you're talking to somebody, take that same, that same confidence, that same sincerity, and bring it into everything you folks are doing. You're gonna find yourself just much more natural if you learn, but you have to learn the scripts because you have to have that foundation to start from. I used to be able to go off onto tangents in conversations, and I would always be able to bring it right back to the script. If you don't know the script, you go off and you walk away saying, "What, did you sell me something?" So you have to be able to come back to the script, and that way you can make it a little more personal. If they're talking about their son going to college or whatever, you can have that conversation and say, "Guys, so that's so unfair, so let me ask you, if you were to move, where would you go next?" Right back on script. Right, well, you know what, we've thought about actually moving this back to San Diego. Oh, wow, that's exciting, right? So, good stuff.
So, awesome,
I
yeah.
was just saying, for me, I know for me, like coming from like working in a job, the instant gratification, it was keep me from being consistent. So that's what I'm trying to work on, just the whole change of an entrepreneur mindset, to keep that consistency and frequency.
Yeah. Do yourself
Because you
a
don't
favor.
get the instant
Do yourself a
gratification.
favor. Don't, now I covered a lot of things here. Don't put too much on your plate to try to cover it all. That is the first thing that breaks your consistency when you're trying to do too much. Make it something that's achievable and then grow on it. That's very important.
I think that's.
Even people that try to do these script classes, he trying to get, when he came, trying to do
So would you guys show up if we did some scripting
It's more
classes?
like a role play class.
Role
Yeah.
playing, scripting, yeah.
Absolutely.
How about we package that in with actually getting on the phone and making calls too? Emily and I talked about it, we'll put that together.
We should get a mojo dialer and get a room, a bunch of monitors, and everybody can rent it out.
You're gonna make a call center.
All right. We need to finish up. One last question.
If I can remember it now, when you were knocking, the young lady, the listener, he said, would you mind if I use your home?
That was for
What?
expired. That's for an expired listing. Okay, that was for an expired. Right? Would you mind if I marketed your home at my open house?
So, when you say that, does that mean that you're gonna go and get that listing? I
That's the
mean,
goal.
because-
That's the goal. That's the goal. I'm doing them a favor, right? I'm now supporting them. Right at the end of my open house, I reach back out and say, "Hey guys, this is what I had happen at my open house. Let me ask you, are you interested? Is it possible to sit down with you and show you what I can do to sell your home?"
Okay,
Now,
so
you
then
might say
you're-
that at the door right there, okay? But I'd probably do it after the open house as a.
So you're coming back?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Come back.
Awesome, thank you all.
Thank
for
you guys so
showing up.
much.
Thank you, Damon, that was awesome. My parting shot is, make today so awesome that yesterday is jealous.